Destination. Favorites.
Favorites. All right.
So now let's go down, cycle down to, wait a minute, come, WNC Ag Center, bottom one. Okay, set as new destination. Let it cycle. Now destination. Favorites again. This time Sliding Rock. You already passed it. It was up at the top. Sliding Rock. Add. Nope. Slow down. All right, we got to go back and do it again.
Okay.
All right, gang. So
Okay, favorites.
good with everybody. We'll hop back in. We'll get ready to roll.
We got to go back all the way back.
So that's
again.
a cool system, cool little feature. It's a cool little feature there.
Okay. Destination.
Okay.
Now slow your fingers down. Favorites. Down to the bottom. WNC Ag Center. Set as new destination. Now let that cycle. Now destination. Favorites. Sliding Rock. Add waypoint.
Add waypoint.
Go. That's it.
I see. Okay. So, I guess we're not going to be able to have music.
All right, gang, we're going to go ahead and start rolling up here in front. Again, just watch the curb as we pull out. Again, that navigation, it's a pretty neat system. It allows you to add those waypoints like we did for Sliding Rock. We're not actually making a stop there, but, once you plug in your end destination, you can add, stops or certain routes that you want to take by putting in those waypoints. So just pretty cool system. And this is a yield here, gang, so just make sure you're clear to the left. Watch the curve as you roll out. Couple cool places up here to our left. Got the Pisgah Inn Country Store. About everything you could ever imagine in that little store. And just past that is the Pisgah Inn, and it's I believe it's one of two places on the entire Blue Ridge Parkway that you can stay overnight commercially, besides camping. So, but on some days, gang, pretty amazing view out the other side of that, kind of looking out over the valley and the mountain ridges. Kind of gives you an idea why Mr. Vanderbilt decided to put his hunting lodge up in this area with those views. Fortunately, I think we've got a cloud cover and some fog that has rolled in on us this morning, so if you noticed, gang, when you put the car in park, even though we left the car running, when you put it in park, it actually takes it out of sport mode and puts it back into normal mode. So again, that's when you go to park, or you turn the car off and on, and you're always going to be back in normal mode. So let's go ahead and put it back into sport mode. So again, just push the S button on your shift dial. Let's put it back into sport. We do have a cyclist up here, gang, so we're going to slow down so we can get around safely. And again, once I'm clear, I'm going to go around him. And then I'll just let you know if there's a vehicle coming from up ahead. And you guys just make a good decision. When it's safe, go around the bicyclist and just give them plenty of room, gang. You are clear up in the front. Still clear in the front. Still clear in the front. Still clear. Alright, good job, gang. bit. We might actually be able to catch Looking Glass Rock. So up here just a little ways.
You had that camera active on this
We'll kind of be able to
Yes.
maybe catch a glimpse of Looking Glass Rock. Down on the side of it's got like a big rock face, kind of a bold rock face. It's called Looking Rock. Looking Glass Rock. And it's pretty cool. Hopefully we'll be able to catch a glimpse of it, but in about 15 minutes or so we'll kind of be back at the base of it. You'll kind of be able to look up hopefully and maybe see it again. And so this next little overlook here, if you kind of look across to your left, you'll catch a glimpse of it. The side of that mountain, the big rock face there. And they say like in the wintertime, like as the water's kind of draining down the rock, running down the rock, it'll actually freeze at times and it'll look like glass. Just up here, we're going to make a left turn here off the parkway. We're going to take this little connector road. It's going to take us over to Highway 276. That's actually going to take us down the mountain. And once you make the turn gang again, let's just double check, make sure we are in sport mode. So again, it should show on your dash, on your ship display there, the S. And then also right below your fuel gauge, you'll see a little S. And I want us to use manual mode, so I want you to pull back on that left shift paddle. Pull back on the left shift paddle. We're going to put it in first gear when you come to a stop here, and then when we're going to make a left turn. Make sure you're clear around to the right, short line of sight there. When you get going, gang, I want everybody to get up to third gear once you get rolling, so you'll have to pull the right shift paddle back. And I want to make sure we're in third gear once we get going here. So I'm going to kind of show you one of the advantages of having this manual mode. When you're in sport mode and you use the shift paddles, it locks you into that gear, kind of like the manual mode we were talking about. It's allowing you now to kind of use the engine compression as a little assist in your braking by holding these lower gears. And it's kind of helping manage our speed as we go down the mountain. Right, if you were in automatic mode, it'd be fine, but you would probably be in fourth gear, maybe fifth gear, and you'd find yourself kind of free rolling a little bit more down the mountain with the speed and kind of using your brakes a little bit more, having to ride your brakes a little more. Whereas when you use the manual, using this third gear, kind of managing our speed. Now, with that said, gang, you're not using the transmission to slow the car down. We're using the brakes still to slow the car down. You still have to use the brakes for some of these corners to slow the car down. But that lower gear now is helping us manage the speed, kind of like the truckers use going down big mountains, so they don't have to ride their brakes and then heat the brakes up. Bottom of the mountain, they don't have any brakes anymore. So it's kind of a neat little option to have. But up ahead here, gang, we're going to have a pretty sharp turn, so I'm going to kind of show you. I'm going to use my brakes. We've got a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit sign here. I'm going to be using my brakes there before this sharp corner to kind of get the speed out of the car. Then I'm going to pull back at that first yellow arrow. I'm going to pull back on my left paddle, shift down to second gear. So when you do a downshift to second, feel it kind of holding, maintaining that speed through the corner. And as you start to exit the corner, you'll be in that lower gear that you'd want to be in if you want a little bit more aggressive acceleration, if you're doing some performance driving or something like that. You can upshift back into third. So again, slowing the car down before you get to the corner, get the speed out with the brakes, and then using the downshift just to get down into that lower gear so you're ready for acceleration off the corner. And you can do the same thing for the next corner up here. There's a little brake going in, downshift into second before you get to the corner, and then accelerate, upshift back to third. So going down the mountain, gang, I'm going to tell you exactly what gear to be in, but you can kind of play with that. Second, third, and fourth is kind of what we use. And the thing you kind of take, like I said, gang, you're not using that downshift to slow the car. You're using the brakes to slow the car. Downshift's just getting you down in that correct lower gear for the acceleration as you come out of it. But then being able to use the manual mode on the transmission to kind of help hold those lower gears. But we'll just touch on a little bit more driving theory. Again, we'll talk about it more once we get to the ag center, start doing driving exercises. But again, we talked about hand position, kind of 9 o'clock, 3 o'clock on the wheel. Gives you the most leverage over the wheel. Allows you to make a big turn on the wheel if you need it without having to shuffle your hands around on the wheel a whole lot. Vision's really important, gang. Your eyes, as the driver, just always keeping your eyes up, looking ahead, but not just looking straight ahead, looking through the corners, kind of reading the road or reading the track, out in front of you. You're on a track doing performance driving, but just in general on the road, gang, looking ahead. It's going to allow you to be a smoother driver, anticipating what's coming up. If you are doing performance driving, gang, a smooth driver will be a fast driver, and passengers will also love you for it. And just a little more technical stuff, gang, as far as talking about tires and what tires can do, and so we're going to be doing some performance driving later. Where your grip traction comes from in the vehicle, gang, it's from the tires, right? So you ask a tire to do 3 things. You can slow it down, you can accelerate, and you can corner, right? That's where your grip's coming from. Ideally, you're asking the car to do those 3 things individually, not all at one time. So for instance, going into a corner, while that car is still straight, you're going to be using the brakes, getting the car slowed down, the speed out of the car. As you approach the corner, you're going to be easing off the brake pedal as you add steering into the corner. Then your grip is going to be used for cornering, going through the corner. And then as you come out of the corner, you start unwinding the wheel and straightening it back up. And then you're able to start accelerating out of the corner. You use that grip for acceleration. Again, just kind of keep that in mind, gang, in driving in general. Kind of separating those 3 things. You don't want to get right to the corner and, use the steering wheel to slow the car down, right? Use the brakes to slow the car down first. Ease off the brake as you go through the corner. Then as you unwind the wheel, back to acceleration, nice and smooth. And we'll talk more about that later, gang, as we start doing driving exercises. That's stuff you can use in performance driving or just everyday driving.
You know all this stuff, don't you?
Just up ahead here, gang, we're going to see a sign for Cradle of Forestry. And this is actually where